Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving right into a seriously bold philosophical work from 2010 by an author named Xu Feng. And the core premise here is wild. It challenges literally everything we think we know about our daily struggles, claiming that our external reality is dictated entirely by our internal human nature. It's a total paradigm shift for how we process a bad day or a major setback. So, let's just get right into it. You know that deeply personal question that echoes in our heads when things completely fall apart? Why is life so unfair? We look around, we feel totally misunderstood by the people in our lives, and we just wonder why our reality is falling so short. Think about getting passed over for that promotion you absolutely hustled for, or dealing with a friendship that just suddenly turns toxic. We look back, we feel wronged, and we're just left asking why.
Whoa, when faced with those inevitable twists and turns, our absolute default human setting is to point fingers, right? I mean, it's practically an art form at this point. We blame our boss for missing that promotion, we blame society when the economy is tight, we blame the environment, or we even just curse the universe for dealing us a terrible hand. We instinctively look outward, totally convinced that the problem is out there.
But right here is where Xu Feng introduces a massive paradigm shift. He asserts that the world itself is actually not flawed. We are completely overlooking this harsh truth, that the dissatisfactions we experience aren't caused by society or just bad luck. The flaw, it actually lies within us. It stems directly from the imperfections in our own human nature. I know it's a super tough pill to swallow, but the text suggests that if something is broken in your reality, the fracture literally started internally.
To explain this, the source anchors its argument in a classic New Age philosophy. Reality is a projection of your consciousness. Basically, think of your mind as a giant magnet. A positive consciousness attracts favorable circumstances, while a negative one draws in the bad. So if misfortunes seem to constantly follow you around, like hitting every single red light on a morning you're already stressed and running late, the author suggests the root cause is actually your own mindset, not some malicious universe out to get you.
And there are two really powerful metaphors used to drive this home. First, you just can't pour material into a defective, cracked mold and expect a flawless product, right? It's impossible. And similarly, a neglected, weed-filled field isn't going to somehow magically yield a healthy, abundant harvest. You literally cannot separate the quality of your inner life from the quality of your external reality. That inner state is the absolute baseline guarantee of what you're gonna get on the outside.
Which brings us to the law of causality. It basically strips us all down to spiritual agriculture. It's super simple. You sow a seed, time passes, and eventually you harvest the effect, which is either sweet or bitter fruit. So every single frustration we experience today, the stress, those daily conflicts, is really just the bitter fruit of a bad seed of dissatisfaction we planted ourselves in the past. Until we look within to find that root cause, we're just going to keep harvesting weeds.
Now, the author takes this even further into a spiritual timeline, mapping out what's called a karmic journey. And there's a remarkably bold claim here. No soul is ever truly wronged. If someone cuts you off in traffic or harms you seemingly out of absolutely nowhere, the author argues we shouldn't waste energy on resentment. Instead, the philosophy suggests we are likely just balancing a karmic ledger from hidden actions in past lifetimes. It's a massive balancing act, ultimately shaping whether our future leads to paradise or ruin.
Consider this really beautiful imagery from the text. Fragrance draws butterflies to flowers, and a pure heart invites celestial beings. Just as a specific climate and soil determine the exact types of plants that can even survive there, our internal mindset completely dictates the people and the events we attract into our lives. It's essentially the idea of birds of a feather flock together, but applied on a really deep, conscious level.
And to reinforce this universal theme, the text actually points to a famous warning from Jesus Christ. Before removing the speck from another person's eye, first remove the plank from your own. It serves as this stark reality check on fairness. We constantly complain about how broken things are around us, but are we perfect? If we aren't, how can we legitimately demand a perfect world? Perfection, the author notes, belongs only to the perfect.
So this philosophy really forces us to completely redefine what a perfect life actually is. The text explicitly argues that perfection has absolutely nothing to do with worldly scorecards. It is not about your status, your professional reputation, or piling up massive wealth. Not at all. True perfection is a deeply internal state. We're talking about a tranquil mind, an elegant temperament, grace under pressure, and having this unshaken, overarching sense of joy.
Conversely, if your daily experience is dominated by heavy, draining emotions, worry, pain, anxiety, sorrow, The author states very clearly that this is a major warning sign. Think of these emotions as the check engine lights of your internal life. It's not just moral preaching, it's a diagnostic tool you can use right now. If those heavy feelings are your baseline, the flaw is for sure still present in the mold.
So what's the actual solution? How do we fix the mold? Well, the author offers a really clear, actionable mandate. Cultivate your soul garden. Stop trying to change the external world. Stop trying to fix the difficult people around you. It simply doesn't work. By redirecting all that energy and focusing entirely on cultivating your own inner self, the text argues that the people around you and the world itself will just naturally transform in response.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question to chew on. Before you try to fix the world, what is growing in your own inner garden? Seriously, the next time you feel that familiar urge to blame your environment or society for your dissatisfaction, just stop and check your own soil. Are you growing weeds of anxiety or seeds of a tranquil mind? Thanks for exploring this philosophy with me today, and I'll catch you in the next one.